Let's see if they can take something away from a few of these games, because at this stage, you're just looking to kind of make some contacts, make some scrims happen, get some good strategies down, just practice against some of the best players on the international wildcard scene. But we are into the pick and ban phase. Dark Passage taking on the Saigon Jokers. Talia and Gangplank, we are two first bans of choice.
Yeah, so we do still have Warzone and Immortaru, both of the mid laners on both teams, really finding themselves on the bench or in the starting lineup. So the fact that both teams do have rotating rosters in that front is interesting to see. Talia, on the other hand, not so much. Warzone hasn't been picking up that champion. They're probably just not trying to take any chances here.
We see Trundle getting banned away. The first ban of the group stages here, so that Troll not being too high priority on that one. Seeing Trundle's kind of be a little bit hit and miss. He's played that top lane, he's played that support, but not really being dealt a good hand.
Yeah, exactly. And now the most interesting thing about this is we should be seeing a lot of top lane bans, and it's funny that we are, simply because Ro and Elwind have both been those carry players. Exactly. So Echo, Trundle, we might even see a Fiora first pick, and that's, it's already getting hovered.
Yeah, well, 2 of their 4 wins have been on the back of Elwind's Fiora, so if they pick that one up, it makes a lot of sense to how this team like to play to their win conditions. But Echo, Shen, and Gragas will be the final 3 bans for your respective teams here.
Yeah, it makes so much sense for them to pick it up early that it makes 0 sense for Jokers to let it through, unless if they have a real strategy or reason. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of random picks coming from Saigon Jokers, so it wouldn't be so far-fetched to say that they go Malphite here if they're going into this matchup. So, I mean, it's a good matchup in a sense, kind of.
Dark Passage actually end up locking it away, but they are going to go for the Nidalee instead, so just hovering that Fiora Elwind, dying to lock that one in, but the team says no. They prioritize that early game farming potential that Nidalee brings to the table.
Yeah, so Nidalee is the Kirei special. He does love that champion. Doesn't matter if Elise is open. Now, of course, you'd think that Elise would be his favorite champion in this scenario, but he's fine into both matchups. It just depends on the lanes and how they go. So the fact that he was able to get the first pick here, allow Saigon Jokers to pick up their lane. Sure, it's a little scary now that they have the combination of Elise and Fiora. So they have to be a little bit confident, Dark Passage at the very least, that they'll have not only the jungle pick, but maybe perhaps the counter pick to that top laner. Question is, what is that counter pick? I love the Darius hover because it feels like nothing.
Give me that Darius.
I mean, it really does feel like nothing else is on the table here.
Could go for the Gnar, actually, is it still available? But I know once Fiora gets on top of Gnar, we've just seen Gnar get kind of shredded.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fine for Gnar. It's fine just simply because he can farm up, and once he does get his Frozen Mallet, he can really get harassment trades. So, like, for instance, if Ro goes in for 1Q, if he messes up, then of course you're really gonna feel the pain. And Ro has always had that issue of overextending. So Irelia, that's the pick I want to see.
All right. Not going to be seeing the Darius, not going to be seeing the Gnar, but they do lock away that Aurelia as well as a Cassiopeia in the mid lane. So Dark Passage just waiting for their bot lane to see what they're going to round out their composition with.
Yeah, exactly. So I love this. Already we're seeing top-side centric play from both teams where it's incredibly snowbally. Now, the fact that we have a Cassio pick on Dark Passage side means that Jokers, they can go 2 ways about it. They can either deal with the Cassiopeia with an outright counter, or they can decide to say, well, you know what, we'll pick a push and roam champion and we'll prop up this Fiora as well.
We'll end up going for that Varus as potentially the AD carry or mid laner, and the Karma is potentially the support or mid laner. You tell me, Raz.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you either. So that's good for Saigon Jokers that they are able to put up two flex picks in their second rotation.
Have to see what DP decide they want to go with here. We already know that the Cassiopeia is going mid, so Braum still available, as well as the Bard. 2 very strong supports, even a Splash Taric maybe.
Yeah, so they have interesting, like Saigon Jokers have an interesting poke, perhaps Siege and Split. It's interesting simply because if they are going towards towards a poke composition / split with Fiora, then they don't have that tank insurance for when perhaps an engage does happen. If a Braum does engage, or if an Aurelia get her TP flank off. If that does happen, then then the AD carry or Varus are kind of screwed in this scenario.
It's a very strong bot lane. The Lucian Braum going to be proccing those concussive blows with relative ease. And now Saigon Jokers, our last pick, will let us know where the two previous ones will debut in their lane.
Yeah, I would be surprised if we didn't get a Jhin pick here. It would really help out the rest of the picks. It would prop up the rest of the poke. It would have a great lane in the bottom lane because of course it's Jhin Karma. But you also have the poke coming from Varus, and Varus, Jhin have always been a fantastic poke buddy composition there. So if they're going for that, then they have amazing siege, they have amazing poke, and they can continue to do that. If they get one lead going for them, then they can just snowball. The problem is you have a Fiora topside, a Fiora Elise, so then you don't really have any abilities to peel off if you do get hard engaged in that during your poke siege period in the game. So they really have to. This is going to be hard for the Jokers to do, but they have to be able to not mess up and play over aggressively. So this is already.
I think you're asking for a lot here, Raz.
We're already off on a disastrous start here.
Have you not seen the previous 6 games that the Jokers have played for us on the Rift? They love to go aggressive, but they go, like you said, they want that heavy poke, that good siege, no peel for the backline. So they got to try and play kind of that passive aggressive style here. But we see the matchup of today, Immortaru taking on Warzone in the mid. So both the rotating mid laners of these guys, of these teams, so to speak.
Exactly, and Varus versus Cassio is always fun to watch simply because Cassio is just one of those problematic mid laners that can really skirmish up against anyone. You see every meta, she always tends to come back. Every meta is like, well, you know what? Ryze is the champion, or Vladimir is the champion. Skirmish against everyone, and then someone in some scrim will just be like, you know what? There's Cassio. We can get a counter pick here. I think Cassio just gets the level 1, or at least the level 2 power spike, gets a 1v1 going for it. We even saw that in the NA finals, where Jensen got that exact same thing happening for him. So Cassiopeia is incredibly aggressive in the lane, farms up very nicely. Of course, can't get any fight going for her. She's more of a disengaged kite back mage. But yeah, it's a great pick. Varus, on the other hand, great into her simply because he just pokes him from the backside.
And you can see Immortaru picking up that cleanse, but we are jumping into game number 2 of day number 6 of the International Wildcard Qualifiers, the final day of group play. Dark Passage taking on Saigon Jokers. If Saigon Jokers are able to steal away a win here, we'll push Dark Passage down into that 4th spot, allowing Albus Nox to avoid that Lion matchup. So very scary prospect for Dark Passage here.
Exactly. So Dark Passage definitely need a win. They need this win, and ooh, there we go. That's the best way to start it. They already got that win.
That's it. They got the first spear of the game row.
Yeah, wrap it up.
Wrap it up. We're done here, Raz. Early finish today. Looks like Kire really not letting Row have any safety here as Hanyan making his way up as well.
Yeah, this is really smart from Kire. So he knows when you poke him out 1 minute into the game, just follow him through. That means that Rogue simply cannot back. Going to be starting up in the lane without that 100 HP that he really does desire. Unless, of course, if his HP regen is that ridiculous that he can heal up that quickly. So it's good for them. Aurelia is going to come into the lane with a small advantage.
We do see both the junglers starting that top side. Hanyan did start his red buff, and both the AD carry and support of their respective teams doing their own jungle camps.
93%.
That's a heavy in favor of Dark Passage. And something tells me it's because Saigon may be on 0-6 right now, Raz, that the faith is not there.
I don't know. I'm not convinced.
So we do see a little bit of a trade up in the top. Sue and Celebrity have that ranged advantage. They should be getting the poke down nice and early. Zeke not respecting the dancing grenade damage coming out of Celebrity. Avoids the deadly flourish as well.
Best thing about Celebrity is he's been on a few champions now. We've seen his aggression on every single champion, and it's remained the same. So having him on Jhin is a little fun. We'll see every time he gets his 4th auto proc how much he would want, how much he wants it.
Yep.
So we'll see how the lane goes for him if he actually gets far enough ahead.
These two are going to be trading blows. Elwyn may get the favorable one out of that, but Ro does proc a Vital in the meantime. But I'm curious to what are the situations where you go for an Elise and a Nidalee over, say, the Rek'Sai?
Well, it just came down to their priority and their composition.
Sure.
Simply, Dark Passage is a team, their win conditions have come through Elwind. Now, Rek'Sai and, let's say, even Gragas, both picks can work. It's just that if you decide to prop up your top lane pick, they will lose in the 2v2. If, let's say, you go Rek'Sai and Fiora versus Elise and Irelia, well, whoever Irelia, or at least Elise, targets with the Cocoon. Oh, here we go.
Warzone might be in trouble, has to flash and goes to safety. Spear comes down, Kirei.
You think he thought about
it? Dive. Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah, the Cocoon means so much. The burst damage that can come off of it. She has just an amazing amount of burst to her.
Sure.
And the same goes for Nidalee simply because of her speed time. Not only her speed, but also she can just walk into any jungler and honestly just out-skirmish.
Could see him going for that, maybe that top lane wraparound here. Ro did just use the lunge. Spear not going to connect, and he's on his way out. Hanyan is here as well. Red buff has timed out, only sitting on the blue. Gets spotted by a ward, gets eaten by the spear. Cocoon comes down, Volatile Spiderling hits. Kirei maybe looking for something. Elwyn not in a position to help the big minion wave for Ro.
Yeah, and so of course, Kirei dropped a ward in that tri-bush as he walked away. Oh, here we go.
I'm expecting the flash, but it comes down late. Not going to land the spear, but forces the summoner regardless.
And that ward actually meant a lot. The fact that Kirei was able to go back, push Hanyan completely off of that potential gank, spear him away, and just shove him out completely. So then Kirei had, or at least Hanyan had to respect Kirei, and he protected Elwind, because Elwind was already winning that matchup. And the reason he was winning that matchup was because it came down to that level 1 where Ro came into the lane without 100 HP. He actually lost quite a bit. That's at least 2 auto attacks from Irelia.
Elwyn might be in trouble. Does get the stun down onto Ro, but he gets the slow. Cocoon comes through. Does actually land. Has the flash available. Might have to use it. Flash is actually down into the river to try and help out. First blood, though, going to Ro. Kirei forced to watch.
Now, here's the problem. I saw that coming. Everyone must have seen that coming a mile away. I know that Elwyn must have seen that coming. Irelia was, or at least Elise was actually just walking towards Irelia. Why would he hold his flash?
Yeah.
He's not even he wouldn't even be at a disadvantage. Ro flashed earlier. You would just trade flashes simply because Elise was there. So he held on to his flash, took the Cocoon, died. No reason for it.
Not to mention he was only sitting on a corrupting potion with 0 stacks remaining while Ro had gone back, bought himself that double Dorans as well. So any skirmish they're going to have, he's already going to be at a disadvantage here. You can see that Celebrity has gone back, pick himself up that serrated Dirk.
Yeah, exactly. So now this top lane could go any which way. It was going in Dark Passage's favor. Now because of that, obviously, anything's possible.
No flash available still on those top laners, but everywhere else looking nice and healthy. Ghost nearly back available for Warzone, but no flash, so maybe Kirei, after what happened in the top, may look to turn his attentions on that mid lane, but we can see Hanyan making a way in. Potential blue steal coming, as we know that Nidalee is on that bot side of the map. It is the Infernal Drake being the first one to spawn, so maybe some priority we'll see out of these two teams on that one.
Yeah, exactly. That could be the trade that's happening here, where while Hanyan has complete control of topside, not only just based off that pink ward in that tri-bush, but also because of the fact that he just got Scuttle Crab, Kirei is going to trade it out. He's going to go towards this blue buff, take it out completely, trade camps, and if they have enough control in the bottom lane, can just go for that dragon.
We'll have to see how Dark Passage do answer, because once again, Hanyan, he's just making his way up to that blue buff. Sue spotted out Kirei. Kirei also on a ward, does have that true vision from the Raptor camp, can't seem to find it out though, so Elise just going to be taking away the opposite side of the jungle.
Yeah, the fact that Saigon Joker's bottom lane have enough pressure in the lane that they pinked out that blue buff and are now forcing shove bottom's lane, or at least Jin is, while Sue's just completely walking around, means that Kirei loses out quite a bit in this trade. Not only do Saigon Jokers have priority and pressure topside, but then Kirei just completely loses out in the camp trade.
Comes into the jungle and finds the leftovers left by Hanyan's Elise. So Going to be feeling a little bit salty after that one, considering he didn't get a blue steal of his own, as Hanyan did start that red buff, so the respawn was still a minute and a bit away.
Yeah, see, that just comes down to communication at the point, because Kirei actually could have went and forced that fight.
Oh, spear lands onto Ro. He might be in trouble. Throws down the grand challenge, but here comes Hanyan. Does a lot of damage, but now the focus is onto Elwin. Does get the kill. Hunt flashes in, gets stunned by the equilibrium strike. Can't seem to find the kill. He gets it under tower, but he's going to lose his life. So Elwin picks up a double in the 2v2.
Yeah, that's a solid worth if I've ever seen one. Elwin coming out of that with a double kill means a lot, especially since Elise came out with that one kill. Didn't get anything.
Sue going to get stunned up here by the concussive blow. Xenon avoids the deadly forest. Now the focus is onto Celebrity. He has to flash to avoid the culling. Does he have enough mana to go for maybe a sneaky ultimate? Not going to find it, but back onto that top lane Elwind. He's also 20-something CS ahead as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So this top lane is going very well in favor of Dark Passage.
So that worked out incredibly well for Dark Passage, even though it should not have. That just came down to a misplay on Saigon Joker's half, where Kirei was incredibly desperate. He needed that top side to work, even though the vision advantage was firmly in Saigon Joker's favor. But yeah, kind of a mess up, but it works out really well for Kirei.
You can see this bottom side getting pinged out here. Blue buff traded over to Warzone. No blue buff for Immortaru, so he's going to just rely on the mana from his tier alone to keep his pool nice and high. Ro, you can see already taking a lot of damage just from one unfavorable trade. So he has to play very respective. Curious in the bot, but once again, Hyana is mirroring that one. There comes the ultimate spear. Actually lands. Xenon picks up a very nice kill onto Celebrity.
Now that was really well controlled, and if he had hit that, they would have gone in. But exactly, they knew that his flash was down simply because of that early skirmish. And they were able to punish it. Really well done.
Warzone takes a twin fang to the face. Kirei now making his way up the jungle here. And you can see that Saigon, they're not playing that usually a full-on aggressive dive every 2 seconds, but falling behind nonetheless. Already 1,000 and change, 3-2. No towers taken, so that first structure bonus still available to whichever team has the goal to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, they're not playing that aggressively yet. They play aggressively as a unit. They don't play so much, so I want to say not early before 10 minutes, but there are a few games where they just actually go incredibly ham before 10 minutes, so I can't even say that.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag of what type of aggression are you going to see from Saigon Joker's aggression being the name of the game for these guys. Ro going for some trades against Elwind, gets hit by the spear, tries to riposte it, not going to happen. Flash comes through, but Elwind on a killing spree picks up his third.
All right, this is awful for Saigon Jokers. This matchup is getting awfully snowbally. I mean, it was snowbally from champion select alone, but now that we have 3 kills on Aurelia and that massive CS differential, then you have to do something, especially if you're Elise. You have to focus now bot side. You have Jin, you have Karma, and you have Elise. That should be good enough for a gank to go off. Of course, they have all sums up in bottom lane except for that exhaust. That's going to be coming up very soon. And the dragon is available, so it's going to be risky, but they need a risky play for them to be saved because they cannot be walking towards this top side unless if they decide to swap this matchup.
Kirei does actually get spotted out by a ward, so Ro going to play very, very safe. You can see Elwind kind of prepping the back line for optimal dash creep highway to get himself into stun range of Ro, but looking across at the gold, 1.2 thousand ahead is Elwind of Ro right now. Flash actually comes through from Immortaru. Warzone flashes of his own, does take the damage, but not the stun.
Yeah, so that was great response from Warzone. He just flashed ulti to see if he can go. Maybe he was just trying to bait and check if Warzone was going to do something off of a minion wave.
Oh, Sue does get stunned up, knocked up after forced to flash heal as well coming out of Celebrity. There's a concussive blow. Xenon uses a culling, looking for 2. He might be able to get it, and he does the double kill.
Oh, there we go. He still doesn't have flash up. It's coming up soon, but every time, now even this bottom lane is working out poorly for Saigon Jokers. They don't even really have that going for them in terms of his saving grace. They're losing out in 2 lanes, and Warzone still sitting 0-0-0, farming up quite all right. Actually, that's not even true.
No.
He's losing out in a counter matchup for himself. So there is nothing going well for Saigon Jokers 12 minutes into the game.
Yeah, they're really struggling this time around. Infernal Dragon picked up. Kirei solos that one away, and they also get themselves that first structure bonus shared between Zaytnot and Rogu. Kirei might be in trouble. It's just going to get soloed out. Warzone needs one more attack to do it. Can he charge up the Q? Go for the snipe. He gets it.
There we go. That's a single win. I mean, divide and conquer Dark Passage tried to do. They got the solo on the Dragon. Of course, that left Kirei fairly low. And the bottom lane.
Oh, curtain call being used onto Rogu. Cocoon comes down, not going to land, flashes through. Hanyan has to respect the tower, and
oh, here we go.
yeah, Warzone just getting completely destroyed by Immortaru. No flash, no ghost available. All it takes is one Q, and the moon speed is enough.
You mess up once, and that's what it comes down to. So
yeah.
Immortaru still has his ulti up. He must have just ran him down the lane. Doesn't even have ghost, honestly. He just has cleanse, so...
Flash Cocoon comes through, immediately cleanses away, goes for the ultimate. Can he get the 1v? Maybe looking for out. Comes down, he gets taken down, and Su, he's not strong enough. Deadly Flourish doesn't land. Kirei gets the heal off in time, and Immortaru with the outplay.
Now, that's not even an outplay. What are you doing, Hanyan? You are sure you have 2 kills to your name, but you invested it in the cooldown reduction boots, and of course you have finished your jungle item, but you won't be able to 1v1 Immortaru. Perhaps he didn't. Okay.
No, Elwyn just going to single-handedly take out Ro under tower. So where is the saving grace for Saigon right now? We said that they have the poke the siege, but no peel to get them through. But I don't think they're going to make it that far.
Okay, so it was just a simple chase down. That was just Warzone being out of position at that point. So, yeah, goodbye. But yeah, perhaps Hanyan thought that ulti was down because of the fact that that fight happened. That's not the case, and Warzone's dead.
Warzone's just going to get completely collapsed upon. Whiffs the ultimate, but guess who doesn't? It's Rogu. Tags another one with the Q. There's the spear as well. Hanyan on the back getting completely soloed out by Elwind. Another double kill for Zaytnot.
It's getting worse and worse for this team. We were talking about it being a miracle before this game even started, before Champ Select, and now they need a miracle on top of a miracle just in 15 minutes into the game.
Well, I can tell you something, that a miracle is actually going to be in 4th spot if Dark Passage keep this play up.
Yeah, we don't need to see that replay again. All right, they're already dead. They're already gone.
Oh, no. Ro, 104 CS to 136. 4 kills ahead does Elwind have right now. And Ro, he's trying to push up this with his Tiamat, but once again, Elwind looking to hunt him down. Oof.
I was just looking for him to flash on top of him at that point. It just feels like, I don't want to say that they're swagging on him, but I've already said it now, so it's even worse than that. I'm just going for it. They are completely embarrassing them at this point in the stage.
Oh, there's a Cassiopeia ult, only gets the slow portion, but he is on the Miasma.
Oh, this could be a turn.
Oh, looking to try and turn it around. Mortar actually going to get snared up by Su. The Cocoon comes on in. They do get the first kill. Here comes Ro on the back. Deadly challenge has been laid down onto Kirei. Forced to retreat his way out of that one. Su doing a good job of keeping them slow, but there's Ro in the background. He's going to get taken down. Elwyn already a double. Looking for a triple. Can he make it the quad celebrity? He is on the run. Elwyn with ideals of grandeur. Gets the stun. Gets the auto. Gets the quadra.
There it is. Where's the penta? At least show yourself.
She's taking red buff.
Okay, well. Yeah, I was actually wondering where the TP was coming from Ro. He actually canceled it. It was a flank TP, but he was already there. He was really close by to the fight, so he just cancels TP, walks to it, and then he ends up dying, of course. So this is getting much worse for Saigon Jokers, obviously, but they needed to look for that fight. That was a good enough opportunity for them. They were far enough behind, but they need anything. They need Dark Passage to misplay in these fights for them to come back into this game. Anything's possible, obviously. Anything can happen, but it might not.
No, definitely not. We're not with the way that Elwind is playing. Trinity Force complete 8-1 at the moment. Zaytnot just going to take that solo tower up top. Use the culling onto the Elise. A lot of damage coming down onto the young Spider. She's still alive though. Ro can't say the same for him. Hanyan, he's on the run. Su does get a nice Q to alleviate any pressure, but that's 4 men in the top, strong for Dark Passage.
Yeah, exactly. And this is a new Dark Passage. I mean, of course, they're going up against Saigon, but Zaytnot, the entire tournament, hasn't been showing up, has been having a lot of problems. This time is actually ooh, here we go.
Oh no, Hanyan just going to get completely zoned out away from the fight. A lot of damage coming down. Warzone is able to queue his way through the enemy team, but Dark Passage can't seem to find 2 kills, but that's without Elwin, so when he's there, it's going to be a completely different story, Raz.
Yeah, exactly. So, once again, Zeitnot showing quite a bit of a difference in terms of how his laning turned out, because Celebrity and Sue are not pushovers. So let's just watch this replay where, couldn't get that stun, and this was the best opportunity. Just look where Fiora is. She's fairly close, decides to immediately just cancel that TP. It was questionable to start. Comes into the fight, a little late, obviously, but they're going on Kirei. Kirei gets Braum saved because of the shield, and here comes Elwin. The moment Elwin shows up, it's a bloodbath, and of course, Celebrity holds onto his flash. Big mistake. Gets stunned down anyways, and quadra kill.
Yeah, making it look easy. Making us all wish we mained Aurelia in the top of the fight. It started in the mid. Hanyan does get stunned up by concussive blows of Mortaru. Just there for support. They tried to make a pick happen onto Elwin, but it looks like he killed Ro in the process.
I mean, this is happening so often that I really just don't want the replays to be, to be coming up, because I don't want to find out how this man died.
Tarnishing Ro's reputation as a top laner at the moment. Ocean Dragon picked up by Dark Passage will be another one spawning after that. So 1 fire and 1 ocean. We're just going to be pushing up the top lane with the Tiamat here. He's really struggling right now. Down about 50 CS. Down about 9 kills. 0 and 6. This poor guy really struggling right now. And Saigon Jokers, they tried for something different. They tried to go for a pick and siege comp rather than just an all-in brawl, and it's not going too well for them. Grand Challenge has been laid down onto Kirei, but here's a fast Nidalee. Here comes the backup Ro. You've gone way too far, mate. You're going to get taken down immediately. Ulti comes down onto Sue. One more proc should do it, but there's the spear to clean it up. Now Warzone looking for a return kill. Only hits the ulti onto Rogu, though.
Yeah, and this has been a great learning experience, and it just doesn't end. Here comes Elwin.
Learning experience?
It's learning
I don't
experience.
know how you learn in school, Raz, but I'm pretty sure the teachers didn't beat the crap out of us and then showed us a replay of it.
Hey, you never know. Beat the crap out of your mind, perhaps. Teach you a lesson.
Trigonometry, maybe.
I hated that lesson.
But up in the top, they got 4 members looking to push in that one. Elwin just having his way with the map right now, taking away that blue buff. Big minion wave for him to pick up when he so chooses. Hanyan just walking over that miasma, not going to find the initiate he was looking for. Teleport still available for Elwin as well.
Yeah, so right now, it doesn't matter how many people you have, you don't want to walk up towards Cassio. She not only does she have her ulti, she has cleanse. Morello's on top of the actual giant's belt on top. So you cannot fight her. She is going to kill you. All of you, because they are all incredibly squishy. That's how snowbally it's gotten.
Well, fight starting up against around the red buff. Sue gets taken very low, but now Hanyan is the focus point. Has to repel to safety, but how safe is he? Not very. That's the answer to that one. Another double kill for Zeetnot.
Yeah, he's been so... I'm talking about. He's been doing so well for himself. I'm just going to ignore that. Not looking at that. I'm not looking at the screen. Not happening. But yeah, Zeitnot has been showing a lot in this game, mechanically in lane and mechanically in these skirmishes, even though, of course, they've been set up quite well for him.
Yep.
So now, this game is going to secure them 3rd place. No doubt about it. They're going to have to go up against a strong INTZ, and now a lot of teams been talking about, we even saw in that last interview, questions on who teams would rather face.
Oh, Celebrity does flash early that time, but he was there and now he's not. I don't know if Elwin can actually escape from this one this time around, getting slowed by the tower. Actually cues to a minion. There's the lunge, there's the riposte, and there's the kill. Shut down, going to Ro.
Kirei was so close with that heal. Couldn't get there in time. A little unlucky.
He had the movement speed from Ghostblade available, so he could have done that one. Cleanses out of the stun from Ro. Hanyan gonna fall after the Fiora. Kirei can't find the spear onto Warzone, but might be able to find this top lane tower.
Yeah, that was a very close one. A little bit of late on the cleanse. Doesn't matter, though. Still incredibly strong. And they don't need their 2 major carries. They're just going to take these, take the inhib, take these 2 towers, walk back. 22 minutes into the game. They have Baron for themselves.
Might look for that top one as well. We saw Kirei did take out that tower after the fight. After the dust has settled, 25 kills to 6, 50k to 32 at 22 minutes in the game, Raz. I think this is the largest lead we've seen all tournament long.
It really is. And so I'm going to say, like, this is a learning experience, 100% for Saigon Jokers, not only individually of how aggressively they can play in their lanes, and much later on in the game, but really just a lesson on strategy, because this game, or at least during this tournament, they didn't lose because they weren't confident. They were confident. Saigon Jokers exuded confidence, just with no substance.
Speaking of confidence, Dark Passage are only 3 members strong. Going to be threatening 5 and an inhibitor turret right now. Celebrity, you might be a little bit too far up. Takes a culling very low. Sue does get the shield down. Can't find the snare. But neither can Celebrity. There's the ultimate coming down. Xenon, he's in trouble. He gets shut down. This 3v5 may have been a bit of a mistake because Dark Passage lose 2 members. But guess who else does? It is Saigon Jokers because Elwin, he's looking for that Penta. Does he get the quadrant? No! Cassiopeia took it away and she gets herself a double. But in the end, it looks like Dark Passage will be getting themselves the game, securing that 3rd place finish, putting any doubt in their minds.
Scumbag Immortoru takes the Penta away from him. He had it in his grasp. Could have won.
He deserved it.
He really did.
He played an incredible game.
He played a fantastic game for himself. 15-2, has half his team's kills.
20k gold lead, 30 kills to 8 is what we're going to be seeing the Nexus get destroyed to. Very, very strong performance coming out of Dark Passage. We're wondering if Saigon Jokers could show up, get themselves that desperately needed win, but unfortunately they will be going home with that one.
Yeah, exactly. And it is an experience that they needed. Going to go back home, have time to think. This is definitely needed for them and for the region, honestly. You go back and start to realize what you need to work on. So that's fantastic for them, honestly, even though it's going to take some time for them to really feel like it's fantastic. Right now, it definitely is a bad feeling for these teams, but not for Dark Passage. Dark Passage coming out of, they needed this win, and in this fashion. They had a shaky start from the start to the end, where they either had fantastic wins or upsetting losses for themselves.
We spoke a little bit about a learning experience for the Saigon Jokers team. So what are some of the things they can actually take away from playing at the IWCQ as we look at some of the more embarrassing replays? Oh, this is one where they actually get a kill.
Yeah, this was good for them. Yeah, this was great for them. So, but throughout the tournament, they should focus on the great aspects, like some things they did great in this tournament. They showed a lot of confidence. They showed a lot of mechanics, especially in Celebrity's court, where his laning was actually fairly strong throughout the entire tournament. He was the shining light on his teams in terms of how his lanes generally went. And as the game went on, their aggression got them great leads. Now the problem is once you get those leads and once the aggression actually nets you some growth, when you get towards team fights, how do you communicate those team fights? Because a lot of the times, Ro would be way too far forward, and he would be taking free damage, free unanswered damage. HP would come down on him for no reason, where his team was in no position to follow up, and that happened quite a lot. So they really have to tighten that up, where if they are a team fighting team, at least do that properly. Where their aggression, or at least they are known for their aggression because they do it all the time, but if they can actually... Oh, this is great from Saigon. That E'd right into the Warzone's ulti. But yeah, once you take those team fights, you have to recognize, okay, this is the right team fight to take, this is the wrong team fight to take. Set it up for yourselves. So once they go home with their coach and their staff, their organization, go back to their game house, that they can really talk about it.
Yeah. What
really went on wrong, because some of these games they deserve to win. Most of the games they had no reason to win. They deserve to lose that 100%. So that's something Saigon Jokers can really reflect on and would be great to take back with them.
Dark Passage, they've been looking increasingly good. Every single new game they play, they find a different strength to help them get through the game. And it looked like for a while they were relying on that Fiora pick, but they have shown that they are so much more.
Yeah, exactly. So much more with an asterisk. That Fiora is really just one champion of a major identity, even though Fiora does it best and they really have relied on it as a crutch, that they can pick up an Irelia and do just as well.
Yeah.
Pick up a Trundle, maybe not get the same result, but really it works with the same comp. So they're coming in with a great identity. And Zeitnot showed a lot of strength, so they can rely on him. It is possible. So this is especially Immortoru. We saw great games from him. This is one, obviously, but the last one with Lissandra, he was just setting up highlight plays after highlights. So he's showing up really well for his team. Now they just got to put it together. They have a great task ahead of them going up against INTZ.
And INTZ, another team that have been playing incredibly well as of recent. So these guys, kind of similar story. They both started off a little bit shaky and then were able to find their footing as the tournament went on. I guess that just goes to show how valuable these events are, where everyone can get together and kind of share their knowledge, as you can learn a little bit of things from other players and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think INTZ, they had a really a good internal experience where they had everything going for them in terms of like going into this tournament. They had a great regional experience. They come out in boot camping. They had a lot of great play, and then they come into the league. And of course, it was upsetting for them because they didn't reach their level of their own expectations for themselves. So then, of course, they were almost they had that opportunity of getting kicked out of the entire playoff bracket, and then they play fantastically from that point forward. So you have to be afraid of this INTZ roster. They can really take you down.
Look, and they've been looking really strong. Dark Passage, though, we are going to throw to Hingers in a second to give us an interview with one of the members of Dark Passage.
Thanks very much, guys. I'm now joined by Kirei from Dark Passage, who have just beaten Saigon Jokers in that game you just saw. Tell us a bit about the game and how you felt it went.
Well, the game was go for snowball.
Yeah.
It's like they had 3 hours, so we had to win ASAP, and yeah, we snowballed. That's how the game went.
So this cements your position as third in the rankings, which means you'll be taking on Ints in the semi-finals. Are you feeling confident going into that match?
Yeah, as long as we play our own game, I'm pretty confident going into the match.
Yeah. Also, you've had some roster swaps and changes while you've been here at the tournament, and it seems like that's had some mixed results with you losing a game but then winning too. Talk a bit about the team synergy and how you guys feel like you're improving over the tournament.
The team synergy is getting there. I mean, it can get better because people are still talking a lot of Turkish to each other, so I don't understand some stuff. So, but it's getting better that people are speaking more English. So I guess when people speak more English, the synergy is getting better too.
Excellent stuff. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. Congratulations on the win, and we'll see you guys at semi-finals.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all from us, and we'll throw it back to you guys at the desk.
Great stuff as always, Hingers. Thank you so much, doing a tremendous job over there. But Dark Passage are going up against INTZ in the playoffs now. Is there something that we can be looking for them? They said they've got confidence that they're improving every day, and they feel like if they play their own game, they can beat them. Now, what do you think their own game is? Is it the split push L-win top lane, or do they have something more?
That's what it is. That's what it is entirely. That the elite, or at least that's what Create brings. That's what L-Ring brings. It's really just fits together like a foot, and like so that's great. That is their own game plan. They're going to run with it, and the fact that they are now improving in terms of just communicating with each other in English. So that's something to watch, something to see if they can actually go up against INTZ.
Alrighty, guys. Once again, congratulations to Dark Passage, where we are going to go to a quick break, and when we get back, we'll be back with more IWCQ action.